When we are talking about the hip opening as one of the major subject of practice, isolating just the hip openers, there are a few different dimensions of it. And the first would be let's start from the very basic fundamental of what we actually already know. The first would be the hamstrings. So hamstrings are the part of your hips, right? Because it originates from the back of your sacral lines and runs all the way through the hips and connects in at the front of the tibia. So that's one major muscle group, and we work quite extensively on our hamstring flexibility with most of the practices we have. The second one would be the reverse part of the hamstring. So hamstrings are the back of your thighs. The next would be the opposite, which is the quads and the hip flexor, mainly this line of the quads and the hip flexor. This is also a part of the hip opener, and the psoas and the iliacus. So that is your second part. The third one would be more of the lateral lines, and we call that as the adductor practice, or rather the adductor muscle group. And the practices which relate to that is like a butterfly or a straddle, split, and so on. And this part, usually for my body, is the most painful part when I'm working on. Having said about pain, remember that hip openers does takes in quite a bit of pain because they're a huge muscle group. There are so many different layers of muscle you're working with. And at times it can also be quite frustrating because some of the practices you keep on doing again and again, and it takes very long time for the body to sink in and receive for any further changes. So yeah, straddles are one of my challenges which I always go through from my childhood. Do not let that pain level to cross over a certain point where there is no calmness in your approach. This is the key. And the last one would be your external rotation, which are the gluteus maximus and minimus down deep. There are 6 different muscle groups which holds on to the side of the glutes. So when you're doing external rotation, practices are like lotus and any form of like say lizard pose, humble warrior, warrior 2 variations, bindings and stuff like that. More deeper hip rotations would be the leg overhead practices. Okay, so let's try and combine all of these factors together. Sometime I would also switch in muscle groups so that we are having time to take a break from one muscle group and moving on to the other postures. Maybe some upper body work as well, combining in together with the hip. And have fun, stay with me and work hard. If this is a challenging practice for you, remember this is important for you. This is the one important practice for you if you feel challenged. Okay, let's get started. Please stand up. Have your hands on the hips, widen your feet around 3.5 to 4 feet away from each other. Turn your toes outwards at a 45 degrees angle. Okay, let's do a few squats to work on the quads. At the same time, work on stretching those adductors. Keep the tailbone down, exhale and squat down. Let the knees shift sideways as you're going down. Inhale and come back up. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Inhale 4. Inhale 5. Inhale 6. Inhale 7. In 8. In. Check that your hips are going forward. 9. In. 10. Hold this. Allow the hips to sink slightly below the knees as the spine is tall. Now the focus is mainly on the quads right now. The glutes as well should start to feel some challenges and sensation. Keep the navel drawn in. Take an inhale here. Exhale and bend forward halfway. So let your spine go parallel to the ground here. Reach your palms as the fingers faces downwards, close to your knees. And allow your palms to push the knees away from the midline. Letting the stretch to build up around those inner thighs, those adductor muscle groups. Sink the hips lower. Keep the chest low. One more time. Push the knees back, sink the hips and the chest low. So you're almost hanging on that muscle group right now. And then start juggling your body from one side to another, shifting from right to the left, left to the right a few times. Great. One more time. And then slowly release the palms down on the mat. Straighten the legs. Turn your toes facing forward. Take an inhale here. Lengthen the back. And exhale, gently fold forwards into Prasarita Padottanasana. Grab hold of the opposite elbows. Hang loose. Relax and breathe. And take one more breath. Relax the palm. Lift halfway up, inhale. Now walk your palms towards your right side and turn your right foot facing forward and your back foot, that's your left foot, angling at a 60 degrees line. Straighten the front leg. Come on the fingertips so you're lifted halfway here. Now bring your arms along with the line of the ears as we gaze down. Now interlock the fingers together, release the index fingers out and gain length here. Inhale. Exhale, keep the spine and arms straight line. Reach the fingertips all the way down to almost touch the mat where your ribs are touching down to your thighs. And then inhale, come back up halfway. Exhale, go back down 2. Inhale, come back up halfway. So the key here is your spine and arms moves together. Exhale, go down. Inhale, bring it up halfway. Exhale, 4. Inhale, bring it up. Knees are straight, both knees super straight. Exhale, 5. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Strong legs. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Relax the palms down. Lengthen on the next inhale. And then exhale, fold down into the pyramid pose. So intention was to actively stress the hamstring muscle before sinking down into it to stretch out. Now lift halfway up, inhale. Walk yourself back to the center on your exhale. Come all the way walking out to your left side. So your left foot faces forward. Your right foot turns in, angling at a 60 degree. The spine is long. Come on the fingertips. Let's do that 5 times. Arms goes up along with the ears. Interlock the fingers together. Spine and arms in one straight line. Hold here for a breath. And exhale. Whole body sinks down over your left leg. Inhale, bring it up halfway. Exhale, go down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, 3. So your back line is also doing lots of work. Inhale, come up. Exhale, 4. Look forward slightly. Inhale, come up. Exhale, 5. Inhale, come up and hold it. Super long spine. Reach the fingers a bit more front as the arms are straight. And then relax it down. Inhale, breathe, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. And a few breaths on that. And just the usual routine stretch to first connect in with the hamstrings and the basic muscle groups. Lift halfway, inhale. Walk back to the center. Bring your hands on the hips. Come all the way up into standing. Inhale. Bring your feet together. Relax the hand. Take a deep breath. Good. Hands on the hips. Let's go one more time. Widen the legs. Keep the spine long. Raise arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, reaching slow and steady, gracefully all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhale, go back to your right side once again. And this time we are going in to start with the hip rotators first. So let's get into a lizard pose. Bend the front leg, step the back foot further behind. So get that 90-degree line between the front knee and the heel. Open the right foot slightly to the right side. Bring the right palm at the center and begin to walk your palm forward. I personally like to come on my fingertips so that the loading goes a lot more stronger on the right glutes, on the front leg, whichever leg you are in. Sometimes you miss out left and right, and that's perfectly fine, but don't let that become a habit. Walking the hands further, letting the chest and the hips to sink lower. One more breath. Walk back up. Bring the left elbow down in the same line as your right heel. Turn the left palm inward. Put the left knee down. So your left palm goes 45 degree. Your left knee goes down. Now lift the inner arch of your right foot off the mat. So you're only on the outer edge. Just in case you can't see. So I'm only on the outer edge of my right foot. I have lifted the ball of the foot and the inner arch. Now use my right palm to push the knee away from me. My hip goes to the left side. The sensation can be quite localized in this part. It will differ, it will vary from person to person. I do feel quite a lot on the connection of my glutes, the TFL area, just above the hamstrings. One more breath. Good. Come back up to the center. Grab in a block. If you're super flexible, you may not need it. And pat underneath your left kneecap. Take the block in any length you need. Keep the hips low. The lower the hips are, the lower the blocks can go. That would obviously also depend on the length of your arms. And reach your left arm back, bend the left knee, grab the foot. And then draw that heel into your hip to stretch out the quads. Rotate the left hip bone forward. Notice the right knee and the right heel, they are vertical. We're trying to turn the left hip forward. The spine doesn't bend front. As the spine goes forward, you will tend to lose the stretch significantly. So spine super up, maybe even bring the heel to reach the butts if you can. Slow release. Right, go back to Prasarita first, and then let's switch the sides. Turn towards your left, walk the left foot to the left side, step that right foot back if required, stack your left knee with the heel 90 degree, and come on the fingers, lowering all the way down. Back leg strong, back knees off the mat, and that also helps to generate heat on the right or the back leg's hip flexor muscle, which would be the next part of the stretch which we just finished off on the other side. Two more breaths. Lengthen the spine, chest sinking down, hip sinking down. And walk back up. Put the right knee down. Set your right elbow in line of the left heel. Turn the palm inwards. Lift the inner arch of the foot off, coming on the outer edge. Left palm on the left knee. Push the left knee away from you. The back foot could be flat or tucked under, your choice. The hips goes to the right. The knee moves to the left. One more time, hips to the right, knee to the left. Adjust that foot position if necessary. Okay, come back. Center your left foot. Again, grab a towel, pat under the knee, Get a block, spine upright. Recheck that you are keeping the vertical line between the front knee and the heel. Letting the knee to cross over the toes is not going to potentially harm your knee here because your back knee is down, but it would change the overall stretch sensation. So it's not about protection, but it's more about the stretch part. The right hip rotates forward. Reach the right arm back. Here comes my tighter side. Spine super long. And then start drawing the heel into the hip. Left shoulder going back. Right hip moving front. Spine long. Hold the heel. See if you could actually touch the heel to the hip, but without letting the hips to go off. So the hips goes low. The spine stays up as the heel comes in close. And slow release. Right. Coming back to Prasarita. This time let's come into a Skandasana, so we stay here for a bit more longer. So turn your right foot 45 degrees to the right side. Lift the left toes off, so you're only on the heel, and start sinking down. And take your time to sink the butt slow. Your hands can be positioned anywhere where it's comfortable. If it works for you, wrap your right arm across your shin as the left arm goes back to find a binding. Maybe looking up, maybe looking out to the left side. That feels not very easy. Go ahead to put the hands down. And then release. Switch, push back up. Left foot angling 45 degrees. Left knee moves towards the left toes. Right toes up. Sink down. Take a moment. This can be quite a challenging practice, especially if you're trying to get the bind, if your left heel is off the mat slightly. So check that part out. Go ahead to bind. And start twisting, looking up. One more breath. Release the hands. Lift the hip back up. Go back to your right side one more time. This time, squat down and get seated. So you're sitting back. You're sitting back. Your right shin is still in the same plane. We have the left arm to grab hold of the right ankle. The left foot is up. Raise the right hand up. And then exhale, go in for a lateral bend. So using that left palm as an anchor to pull your right foot, keep bending. Sometimes it's easy just to be on the floor, so just in case you need to make an adjustment. And you can reach the outer edge of the left foot, do that. Give yourself a nice opening through the side body line, the obliques. This isn't just a hamstring stretch. It feels great around that side body. The posterior delts, especially if you do a lots of inversion in arms, you should be feeling something there. Release. Use your palms to lift back up and switch. Sit on the other side. So right palm grabs in the left ankle, left arm goes up, reaching all the way out to the side. Stay or grab the outer edge of your right foot, going for a twist. Front shoulder coming forwards and out. Well, that's your right shoulder if you're doing the same side as me. And then slowly come back out. Right, up to Prasarita. From there, just come into sitting. Cross your legs. Sit back. Straighten the legs. After those warm up, we have warm up almost every regions of the hip required. We've gone through the quads and the hip flexor, hamstrings, adductors, rotators. Let's move on for a combination of a few practices together. Right foot followed by left foot. Lotus pose. Ground your sitting bones. Take an inhale here. And then exhale. Walk your arms forward and fold forward. Keep lengthening from the root of your sitting bone till the top of the head. Come back up. Two options, palms next to your hips, Tolasana, lift up, give your hips a little break. Before we move on, second option, come up on your knees, bring the hands in the point of your calf, slide and come up into Urdhva Kukudasana. Go for it. Hang in for 5 more. Come back down. Check that the lotus is tight enough. If not, open it and reset it. We haven't done yet. Come up on your knees. We are not doing a Mayurasana here, no worries. Come on your forearms and allow the pelvis to slowly sink down. Stay here. The choice is to just simply be on the forearms or to lie down on the belly, which is much more simple. Again, some psoas stretch, partially on the quads as well for some of us. If you want to go up into a cobra, set the palms next to the ribs, press yourself higher. But rather than finding a back bending in the cobra, aim to press the pelvis down. Okay. Push from the elbows or palms, go back up. Sit back and then release the leg. Roll the ankle. Now the side, so left foot up first, then the right comes up, ground the sitting bones, inhale, lengthen, exhale, walk down and fold. Come back up. Let's come up on the palms. So palms next to the hip, press up to Lasana, or come up on the knees, pull it up into Kukudasana, rooster pose. Maybe you're just 1 inch up and that's a good start. Four. Bring it down. Check if you need to reset it. My left foot is almost coming out, so I want to open up, bring it back in, and do it again. Quite a lot on the ankle for some of us, so that's why I take a break. Maybe you're breaking it down in 2 parts. maybe lying down flat. The pressure on the ankle would be significantly less when you are fully down on the belly. It increases as you're coming on the forearm. And maybe into a cobra, it's a max. So check if you need that cobra. Continue pressing down the pelvis. Push down, come back up. Release. Roll the ankle. Come into all fours position. You may need 2 blocks, so keep them handy so you don't have to move around as you're in the pose. Step your right foot forward, set up 2 blocks next to you, and slide through into Hanumanasana. You may not need a block. Just go ahead to grounded. I know some of you over here practicing are effortless to go down into that Hanumanasana, and if so, you may choose as well to set 2 blocks or even 1 underneath the front foot to work on more mobility. So doing an oversplit, grabbing the back foot, bringing the heel into the hip to stretch the hip flexor and quads would be another option for you. Now, shift your weight on the right hips, bring your left leg forward, set your left foot right in front of you, and bring your right ankle over the top of the left upper thigh, like a figure 4. Walk the palms forward and reach your chest into the right calf. If you wish to have the hands holding in the shin, that's fine too, or keep the palms back to support. Release slowly. Switch side, left foot forward, get those blocks in if you need. Slide through. I'm using a towel in front because it helps to lessen the friction level. Many of you may not need that. I've seen students working on their splits without any warm-up. Maybe oversplit is an option, or grabbing the back foot in and to bring the heel into the hip. Sit on your left hip, bring the right forward, set the right foot in line of the left knee, bring your left ankle over your right thigh, walk the palms in forward. Now check that your left shin here is parallel to the top edge of the mat. And again, maybe grabbing the shin can be a better source of getting deep for some of us. We're grabbing the shin, the left arm should be going in between the space of your left calf and the thighs. Good. Release it. Lie down on your back. Bend both your knees. Bring the right leg up. Bring it close to you. Wrap your left upper arm, positioning the inner eye of the elbow over the outer edge of the right foot. So the inner eye of the elbow, outer edge of the right foot, they're in a lock. And then the right arm comes from the top. Interlock the fingers and bring the calf into your chest. Good. Release. Now bring the knee behind your shoulder. Step one. Your right knee goes behind the right shoulder. Behind the right shoulder. The more back it goes, the easier the next part would be. Now try to have a solid grip of your left arm against the outer edge of the right foot till your right ankle, till the edge of the foot all the way till the ankle, and then use both your arms to lift the foot behind the back of the head. Maybe some of you can be only touching the top of the head, which is perfectly fine, and that works. Move your leg all the way towards the back of the head. Ekapada Shirsasana. Try bringing chin away from the chest. And slowly bring the chin into the chest and release it. Relax for one breath. Let's do the other side. Lift your left leg up. Have the left foot's edge against the inner right elbow. Crossing the hands across over your calf. Bring the calf into your chest. Always there is a better side and a weaker side. Chip in a bit more effort on that weaker side. Release. Let's get ready. So your knee goes behind the left shoulder. Push it back, far back. And then grabbing hold of the edge of the foot till the ankle, put the leg behind. Chin goes away from the chest. Keep pulling the foot down towards your shoulder. So your left foot goes towards the right shoulder. Slow release. Take a butterfly and rest for a few breaths. Straighten the legs, tap the legs a few times, releasing the glutes. Let's do that one more round. Now those of you already have a Ekapada Shirsasana, you have been practicing for quite some time and it's a routine part of your practice. You can choose to do it in a seated position as well. If you can already do a Namaste, then probably do any other variations onto it. So it's an open choice. Most of us would be repeating the reclined form. It's natural for the neck and it also feels more likely to connect into the form of the pose. So let's go. Bend the legs. Right leg up. Right knee behind the right shoulder. Take it over and stay. Release, rest. Switch side, left leg. Knee behind the shoulder. And put it over. Release it slow. Straighten the legs. Rest for a couple of breaths. Give a hug to your legs. Take a gentle forward roll. Come into a dog. Shift and plank. Bring knee, chest, chin down. Hold this for a while. This is a good counter stretch on the neck after doing the Ekapada Shirsasana. Roll up into a cobra. Down dog. Right foot forward, left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. All the way up and standing. Palms in prayer. Relax, take 2 breaths. Right, so let's move on for another sequence. Here we are going into a Uttita Hasta Padangushtasana. You can do a Dandaman Trivikramasana if you have got enough range. From there we do Ardha Baddha Padmotanasana, and from there we do a Pashwa Bhujadandasana. If you're confused of the Sanskrit name, wait and you would know. I don't want to reveal the English name. I wanted to use some more of your effort and brain to realize what exactly it means, because students watching over here are not beginner students, because it's a level 2. Yeah, there might be some of us who are still beginner, and if you are, don't worry. If you're not, Sanskrit are the roots of yoga, so you have got to try at least remembering the basic poses which comes into us every day on our regular life. Let's go. So right foot on the mat, left leg goes up, grab hold of the big toe and extend the leg. See if you wish to go into a higher version of that. Bend the knee, set the foot up into a half lotus. If you have enough range, grab the left arm back, grab hold of the big toe. Those big arms doesn't really help to do this. Raise the right hand up and then fold forwards. Maybe both your arms are down, maybe still one holding into the foot. Decide which works for you. If you're having both your palms down, what I like to do is to have my right palm grabbing into my right ankle and use the power of the arm to sink in deeper. Relax the palms down. Now let's move on for a Pashwa Bhujadandasana, Grasshopper pose. So we are setting the left foot down, so your left toes and the right knee are in one line. You're going to walk your arms towards the right side. Take your left upper arm over, so your right thigh is on top of the left upper arm. Your right thigh is on top of the left upper arm. So your left foot is definitely way much more higher. So shift forward and bring one foot up and slowly continue moving. As the bottom foot comes off, maybe it doesn't, hold this or straighten the bottom foot out. for 4. Bend the leg, set it down, keep up your hop lotus, come up in standing, and release. Whew. Take a deep breath. Let's switch. So left foot down, right goes up, grabbing the big toe, extend out. Your version of the pose. Bend, half lotus, and that right arm reaches back, grab the big toe. I can grab, but it doesn't stay, slips off. Raise arms up and fall forward. Maybe the right arm is still wrapped to stay with the toe. Maybe both your arms are down, and if you're using both arms to stay down, have the left arm grabbing into the left ankle as the chest goes in. Release the palm. Draw the right foot low. So your right toes and the left knee comes in one line. Twist the body to the left. Take the right upper arm over. So your left thigh rests on top of the right upper arm. Shift, lean front, allow the foot to float and maybe off fully. And extend. If you have a slippery arm and it tends to slide off, you can keep the left leg bent. It's a lot easier that way. And keep pushing that left thigh into the right arm. And then put it down. Keep the half lotus, come back up in standing. Release it. Whew. Take a deep breath. One more deep breath. Okay, let's move on. Still have a few minutes, so let's do one more sequence. Raise arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Lift halfway. Walk the legs out on the side. Come into a lateral split here. Stay on the heels. Toes are up as we slide through and reach low. Keep those toes up. Adductors again. Tough ones for many of us, but keep working. Walk back up. Staying inside the mat, just in case you have slided out. Let's do a Vishwamitrasana. Vishwamitrasana, flying warrior pose. So walk your arms to your right side. Ground the left sole firm. Insert the right shoulder under the right knee. Now grab hold of the right ankle. Transfer the weight on the right palm. So your right palm and the left heel are in one line ideally. That would be easier. Keeping the right palm further back also works, but that will widen the stance. And maybe the tendency of leaning more on the arms increases. Shift and bring it up. Hold it. Hips goes low. Leg gets strong. Hips low. Strong leg. One more breath. And then bend the leg. Relax. Put the left knee down on the mat. I'm going to change my orientation so you understand the next posture. Stay where you are. Now set your left knee down and keep that left knee close, like around 2 feet away from your right heel. Insert the right shoulder under. Turn your left foot inwards. So turn your left foot inwards and try to have the back of the head
going behind your ankle. If that feels good, walk the left knee more out to the left side. Grab hold of your left foot with the right arm and draw the toe into your chin. And stay. So you're working through the external rotation of both the legs. Release the back leg. Take the foot out. Take the head out. Go back into Prasarita and fall forward. Ready? One more lateral split. So have that left heel or the right heel, whichever side of the mat you're in, sliding through and come down. Want to get the depth slightly more than the last round. Quads are engaged, legs are strong, so your knees are not having any torsion. Come back, exit. Walking the hands to your left foot. Turn the right foot in. So your right foot versus the left are perpendicular line to each other. Left shoulder under the left knee. Set the left palm slightly back in the similar plane as your right heel. Grab hold of the ankle or the outer edge of the foot. Now beginners, should have mentioned this in the last round itself, try the pose with the back knee down and the foot turned behind. It's a lot simple. Sorry to miss that part out. Grab hold of the ankle, shift, and let's go. Work on the extension. Full length, hips low, strong back foot. Release. Right knee down, bring it slightly close, turn the foot in, grab hold of the ankle, sink the back of the head behind your left ankle. It might be just here for beginners. Stay. Go ahead with that toe modification. Get back out. Go back to Prasarita. Allow the forearms to rest. Take a few deep breaths here. One last straddle. So one more time, final one time. Set your heels and go. Last few breaths, go deeper. Come out. Step into a down dog. Plank, knee, chest, shin down. Stay. Dip the chest low. cobra. Stay for a few breaths. Move the head side to side a few times. The neck is released. And lift the butts up. Cross your legs, sit back. Hands behind the hip. Feet as wide as the mat. Bring both the knees to the left. Turn your head right, torso right. Back to center, left. Center, switch. Center and switch. Come back. Sit still for a minute in a cross-legged position. Close your eyes. Internally, get that sense of contentment and receptivity from all the success and attempts. There is nothing as failure. It's attempts to learn. And they become a part of us, they become a part of our body as we are consistent on our mats. On that note, I would close today's practice with lots of gratefulness to all of you watching this with me and practicing together. Namaste.